In this video I'm going to introduce you to Java, and I'm going to show you how to install Java, how to compile a class in a notepad, how to run a Java program with the command prompt, and I'm going to show you advanced Java programs. Everything that I'm going to talk about comes from this O'Reilly Learning Java book, and basically I'm going to show you how to download the IDE, how to import Java packages and classes, how to change directories, how to work with basic math and variables and arithmetic, how to use methods to change the behavior and state of Java object elements, how to work with Java graphical classes, and how to use JShell. So Java is mainly used for creating applications that can run on a computer. It works in a server environment and also on web pages. And I don't go that advanced. This is a beginner tutorial for new stuff. So basically, before you do anything, go to your start menu, select settings, then go to system and about, and under system type I have 64-bit operating system. I'm on a Windows computer. So over here in the Java page to download, and this is the link right here, go to Java Standard Edition 15. That's this year's current edition, changes every year. And then go over here to Oracle JDK. You download the Java Developer Kit. The Developer Kit is a toolkit for developers that includes Java compiler and the runtime environment. So you select here, scroll down to, here's mine because I have Windows and I'm on 64-bit, so you download that. Go to your downloads and you select it and install it. Here's what it looks like when you're installing it. So it takes like 10 seconds to install it, and then basically you just have to go to your program files. So I'm just going to open up a file explorer and then go to my C drive. Let me just delete this over here real quick. So you go to your C drive and you go to program files and Java, and you open up JDK and you open up the bin. So basically you click here and you copy this location because you're going to paste this location and you're going to set this path. So you're going to go to this PC. You're going to right click and go to properties, advanced system settings, environment variables, and path. You're going to select edit, and then basically over here you click new, you paste the location, you select move up 3 times and then it'll be at the top. I already have it there because I already set this up on my computer. So yeah, it's the first thing you need to download to work with Java. Yeah, and basically now I'm going to show you how to a basic notepad program over here. So right now I wrote it out. It's public class hello app. I'm just going to, it has like the open brackets, and then basically works with it like it's public, so it can be accessible by anything. And then I use like the system out and print line to print out hello world, and I'm just going to click save as. I'm going to save it as hello app.java on my desktop. I'm going to click save and I'm going to close it out. So I'm going to open up the command prompt now, and right now it's looking at C users 18622. So I'm going to write cd, which is change directory, and I'm going to type in my desktop location, which is over here. Right click properties, here's like the location of that notepad file, and I'm just going to add another / and desktop, and then I'm going to change to the desktop directory, press enter. So now the directory is for the desktop. So now that I'm looking at the right directory, I'm just going to write java c hello app.java, and what java c will do is it compiles the hello app.java. It creates a class named hello app, and it saves it in a file called hello_app.class. And the classes are basically a blueprint for houses. And classes, they have code that defines the behavior of Java object elements, and the object can perform actions by calling on methods. And the class also has a state which keeps track of data. So there are two basic details of classes. It's the behavior and then the state of classes. So I'm just going to write Java and hello app here. So now it just basically executed the Java program and it rolled out hello world here. And so Java C, it compiles it, and then Java runs it. And you could also write like Java C program 1 .java, program 2 .java, program 3 .java. So you can do you can compile multiple programs. If you have multiple programs in a certain location, it has to be located in like this directory. But if you want to compile everything in a directory, you do Java C and star.java, so that will compile everything within this particular directory if you want to compile everything. So now I'm going to show you in this other book over here. So this is the book that I'm working on right now, that I'm explaining, and you need to go to this hyperlink, and you can download the source files for the book, and you just click code and download, and you select you just download it, and now you need to install the IDE. So I'm going to show you Intellij.IDE. So you go to this link and then you select Get Intellij Idea. So Intellij Idea is an IDE, and it's basically an integrated development environment that's used to run Java code. And so basically it takes about a minute to install it, and you select evaluate for free, and you select evaluate, and then it'll install on your computer, and it looks like this right here, Intellij Idea. So I'm just going to show you a quick, two quick programs that are written in it, and then I'll show you how to import the data and stuff. So here in chapter 2 they have a hello Java program, so I'm just going to right click and then select run Java. So it makes this JFrame appear, and it has this JLabel written right here, and you can't move it around, and it's just static. And then here's the title up here that just says hello Java. So that's what this basic program does over here. And let me close out these other programs at the top. So I'll walk through this program in a little bit after I'll show you one of the advanced programs. So I'm going to go to, here's the end result of the book. They create a apple toss game, so you can change the angle of this particular apple around this axis, and you could change the force, and then you select toss, and it tosses the apple a particular distance, and then it keeps track of the score, and it gives you the score up here. It gives you 10 points every time you hit a tree. So you click play again to start the game over. And it also has multiplayer, so you could do a server, join game, you could disconnect. So that's how you could create a game in Java. That's some of the applications you could use with it, and I don't go into that much details, at least in this video, but the first I'm just going to walk through basic stuff. So, yeah, so I'm going to walk through, I guess, the chapter 2 here. So I'm going to double click, left click this, and open this up. And basically what this does is it creates a public class called Hello Java. And with this right here, this creates a JFrame with the title Hello Java. This creates the label, and it writes Hello Java and it centers it. Let me just scroll through my, and this basically just adds a frame label object, and it sets the size to 300 by 300 pixels. Wow, this, let me just scroll in. Yeah, and then it basically sets the frame size visible to true, and basically when you click run up here, right now I have Apple selected, so yeah, right click here and click run Hello Java, stop and rerun. So when you run something and then it pops up, you can close it out, and over here you have to click stop because the program's still running when you run it, so you just have to select stop real quick. And I mean, like the frame.setSize, where's that at? So this invokes like a method which is used on the JFrame, and it affects the JFrame object variable, and basically JLabel puts the text in the window, and frame.add places the label in the frame. So frame.add is another method, and the first method is frame.setSize. So this is one method, this is another method, and these methods basically adjust how this JFrame class looks. And so basically up here, this import statement, import Javax.swing. What this basically is over here, they have like a visual representation. So you could import different classes. So Java.language, Java.lang, those are fundamental, already a part of, you don't have to import them because they are already a part of the Java program. But you could like import like Javax, and then .swing, .star means that just imports everything. Java.lang is just the fundamental Java classes, it's auto imported. You could do like Java.net to import like the networking classes, or you could import the Javax, which we just did, Javax.swing.star. So it's Java.net or Javax.swing or Java.lang. So these words at the top here appear after the period, and basically the star means it imports all of them, but you can write like import.javax.swing.jComponent if you just want to import just the J component. But I'm going to import everything because obviously we're using JFrames and JLabels here, so you don't want to just import only the J component, but you can restrict it to certain things, like here's the J component, so here's J button. So I'm just going to bring all of these in, J button, J component, JLabel, etc. And I'm going to bring all those different classes, and I'm just going to bring the entire package in with the import. And yeah, I guess for this part, let me just close that out so I can focus on this new program over here. which is Hello Java 2. So Hello Java 2 is a little bit more advanced than Hello Java 1 because it has a lot of different it has like a lot of extra things that make the text kind of editable, and you could kind of work on the different text and stuff. So I'm just gonna walk through like what each of these what this means. So basically over here you got the java.awt.star, so you're importing that, and java.awt over here, it has like the graphics, the component, the color model, and you import also the awt.event, and then you import the swing, which we did before. So over here you're just going to create a public class called Hello Java 2, so it appears over here, Hello Java, and then you basically start it out the same way that each class is created, and you set the frame same as you did before. You do frame.add, and then over here this is different than the last program I showed, because this one, it basically shows the default close operation, and what this does is when you close it, the program actually, it closes out the program totally, so you don't have to click stop, I guess, at the top, because when you exit, it exits. And then you set the frame size, and you set the frame visible to true. So over here you extend the J component, and you implement the mouse motion listener, so here is like what the message is. The message gets put at this location, X 125 and 95, and basically this adds the mouse motion listener to the current object, which is shown as this. So basically down here, mouse dragged and mouse moved are mouse events, and these contain all the information you need to know about the event. It tells you like the X and the Y coordinates as the mouse drags around, and let me just run this program real quick just to show you like what this program does before I explain the rest of it. So when you select Hello Java, you could drag it around on the screen. So I'll press X, and yeah, basically like this is just refers to I don't even know what this does. Yeah, and then over here this repaint, I actually go into this a little bit more, but what this does is as you drag the mouse around, it repaints the JFrame so that the label that you're dragging around on the JFrame, the Java frame, it actually moves with as you drag the mouse. So this repaint method actually just it like refreshes, I guess, the view of the Java screen. It basically calls the paint component, and it like just shows everything as updated. And yeah, I guess that's basically like the walkthrough for this. I mean, so I guess this over here It implements the interface that allows for the mouse drag to be acknowledged. This is the hello component to object and an instance of the J component. So yeah, I guess this is that. So I mean, yeah, that's like basically how you like bring up the Java frame and drag around text on the screen. And I guess now I'm just going to go back to the command prompt that I was working with before, and I'm going to walk through all the different JShell commands. So JShell, what JShell is it's an interactive tool for learning Java, and it's run from the command prompt. I'm going to introduce variables, basic arithmetic, importing Java packages and classes, loops, how to increment and deduct in loops, how to loop with an array, how to create an array, how to get the length of variables and characters, how to get a date and time for your current computer, how to check a data type with a boolean, how to create an integer or string array and assign elements, how to get the number of elements in an array, and how to copy an array of values from one array to another. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to type JShell, and what this does is it opens up JShell, and over here I'm going to do like a import statement, import Javax. I'm going to import this package, so it doesn't do anything when you press enter, but it did import it. So now I'm just going to, from the command prompt, I'm going to write JFrame frame equals new JFrame hello Java. I'm going to press enter. So that just created the Java frame, but it's still not visible yet because like frame here is an object that was created. It's not visible yet because you have to assign like a width and its visibility with the methods. So we created the object, but now to make it visible we have to use methods. So I'm going to do frame, which is an object, frame dot set size 300, 200. So it's going to be 300 pixels wide by 200 pixels tall. The x and the y coordinates, I'm going to do frame dot set location. So it's going to appear at 400, 400 on the screen, x and y, and then I'm going to do frame dot set visible, and I'm going to write true, press enter. So now this just popped up on my screen over here, and yeah, here's the screen that we just created in the command prompt. So yeah, that's how you can like work with like importing, and how you can work with an object, and also use methods to change how the object does stuff. I guess here's how you can add like a label to the object. Let me do frame dot set visible to true. So here you go to, I'm going to add a label to this, so I'm going to do, I guess, JLabel. Oh, let me click over here. Let me just move this over here and this over here. So I'm going to do JLabel label equals new. So I basically added a label to it. So I'm going to do frame.add and label. and that basically added the label that I just created to this JFrame, but it's actually still not visible. It says still nothing is shown in the Java box because you have to revalidate it, so it's just frame dot revalidate. So here's the label on the screen now. And you could actually remove the label. You could do frame.remove label, and that actually removes the label. It only gets removed if you resize the JFrame to a different size without frame.repaint. So let's say I'm just going to resize the label, and it'll actually remove it. So I'm going to do like frame.set size 400 by 400 instead of 300 by 400, and press that. So now the label's gone. But I'm going to add the label again. I'm going to do, I guess, frame.add label. So it adds the label again, and I'm going to do, I guess, frame.repaint. And yeah, so the label's back there again. And I mean, if you want to center the text, you could do label dot oh, I didn't need parentheses around that, so it's label dot set horizontal alignments, JLabel dot center, and then just a quote around that, and enter. Whatever, that didn't work. That's stupid anyway. So I guess here I'm going to show you how to do like math with variables. So I guess I'm going to do a double variable type, double data type, and I'm going to do radius, which will just be the variable name, equals 42, and enter. So that shows that the radius variable is set to equal to 42. So I'm going to do double r, so r will be the variable, equals radius times radius. So it'll be 42 times 42. And you'll set r equal to 42 times 42, because radius is equal to 42. So that's 42 times 42. So I mean, the different data types, the primitive data types in Java, you have like the integer, which can go up to like 2 billion or minus 2 billion, and double could be as big as, I guess, 170 with 306 zeros. So that's like past like a trillion times a trillion times a trillion or something like that. So that's how big the double could go, up to 15 decimal points. So I like working with doubles. Unless the numbers are small, then you can work with, I guess, integers. And I mean, short goes just from 33,000 to 32,768 to 32,768 negative to positive. And then I guess the byte goes from minus 128 to 127. And yeah, so I'm just going to work with, I guess, an integer example right now. So I'm going to do integer zebra equals 22. So that variable got set to 22. I'm going to do integer zebra equals, I guess I'll do like 2 billion, 200,000 million. So I'll do like 20 billion, and it'll say that there's an error because integers only go up to 2 billion. So I guess here I'm going to set like a string, so I'm going to do like string, and I'm going to set that variable s equal to hello. So s equals hello. So I mean, working with variables is useful if you're like looping through information and editing information based on other information, and because you could use if statements too to like work through and edit information. I mean, this is basically the same exact stuff as VBA, except I like using Excel more based on what I read in this book. I mean, it just seems like Java just has all these extra packages with graphics and stuff, and you could code like all of the different, you could use like different methods to interact with the objects and change their locations. And yeah, but for now I guess I'm just going to walk through like a for loop. So I'm going to loop for I'm going to loop until I is greater than 100, and I'm going to write I plus plus, so that'll increment up one by one. And let's close parentheses and open that up, press enter, and system.out print line. Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me just rewrite that again. About a comma instead of a semicolon. Yeah, so that loops from I equals 0 to 100, and it inputs all that stuff there. So that's how you work with like a for loop. So I'm going to increment one value up and one value down. So I'm going to do for integer I equals 0, j equals 10, semicolon I is less than j, semicolon I plus plus, comma j minus minus. So the I will increment up and the j will increment down as this loops from zero to 10. So I'm going to system dot out dot print line. So it's going to be I, and it's going to be, what was that? Oh, plus is concatenation, and then yeah, the double quotes there just is like a string, so it's just like the word less than, and then I'm going to concatenate. This will just be j, and over here I'm just going to close the brackets out, press enter. So here it just loops and it increments, so I counts up and j counts down, so 0, 1, 10 to 9. So that's how you can increment up and increment down. And I guess over here I'm just going to open up chapter 4 and open up this. So here's like another, like integer a equals that, integer b equals that. So this is a while statement, which is while b is equal to 0, if a is greater than b, then I want this to execute, a equals a minus b. Otherwise, if a is less than b, I want b equals b minus a, and then this will print out whatever a is at the end. So I'm just going to run this, and this gives you the greatest common denominator, which is 37. And that's how you use a while statement there. So I'm going to go back to, I guess, command prompts over here, and I'm going to do a for loop with an array of integers. I go over arrays later on, but basically I'm just going to do for int I array of ints. I'm just going to do system.out.println I. Oh, there's a extra. There are more lines, so I basically have to just do int those brackets array of ints equals new int so that sets the array of integers, which has 4 elements. It says int 4 inside those 2 closed brackets, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, so it lists them afterwards. 1 is the first element, 2 is the second element, 3 is the third element, 4 is the fourth element within this 4 element integer. So I'm going to loop through, so I'm going to do for int I array of ints enter system.out.println I. So that just prints out all of the elements of this array of integers. So now I'm going to show you how to create an array. Arrays are basically like a special type of object that can hold an ordered collection of elements. Elements in an array are the base type of the array. The number of elements it holds is a fixed attribute called the length. And it's basically like you fill up a connect for, and there's like a column of data, and each circle could be a different value. It could be a string, it could be a number or whatever, and then you can like extend the array and make the connect for bigger or smaller, and copy connect fours to connect fours and compare them. And so here is list and string. So that basically created a new string list. String is a variable data type, and it means it's basically words. So you want to work with words, so I'm just going to do list.add foo. So it says true, and it says list.add bar, and then press enter, true. So I'm just going to loop through so it just prints out each of those. That was a 2-element array, string array, with the first element being foo, the second element being bar. So that's how you create an array. So I guess now I'm just going to show you how to get the length of variables in a string. So I'm just going to declare a string. I'll do like string my string equals hello, and then I'll do integer my length equals my string dot length method, and enter. So hi there has 8 characters, hi space THERE, so that's 8 characters in that. So I guess I'm going to show you how to get the hours. So integer, I'm going to show you how to get the current hour of my computer. See, it's 11:35 right now. So I'm going to do int hours equals new date get hours. So give me 23 as the integer. Integers are whole numbers, and they go from -2 billion to +2 billion. So right now it gave me 23. So it's 11 p.m. So it's the 23rd hour. It cuts off the minutes because integers are whole numbers. And now I'm just going to use, I guess, Boolean to test what data type something is. So I'm going to do Boolean B, and it's null because I didn't set it to anything. So Boolean could either be true or false. Right now it's null. So now I'm going to do string str equals cool in double quotes. I'm going to do a b equals str instance of string. So what this will do is the string a string variable, and the Boolean will say true or false. So yeah, the string is a string, true. And I'll do b so is the string an object? It'll also say true because strings are objects. So now I'm going to declare an array of integers and assign each element a number. So the array is going to start with the element 0. So I'm going to do integer grades. Oh wait. Grades equals new int 30. So right now I just made a 30 element integer array, and right now they're currently all 0. So to assign each element a value one by one, you would just do grades 0 equals 99. So element 1 in this array, because the first element in an array is always 0, I set that equal to 99. So now the grades is down here. You can see it says 99 is the first element in this array now. And I guess I can do like grades 1 equals 20, and I'll just do grades So now the second element has a value. So you can manually assign each element. And see, array with words, I don't understand. Yeah, so right now I'm just going to work with a new string. I guess a string array, so I'm going to do string names equals new string, and it's going to have 3 elements, and they're all going to be null initially. So names 0, it's going to do new string, and then I guess names 1, yeah, so the first one will be blank, the second one is voila, and the third one is null. And let me just do like names 0 equals new string voila. I'll do wall. So that's how you can use a method within a method to assign values to an array. And I guess I'm going to create an array and initialize the elements before. So I'm going to do integer prime will be the variable, and I'm going to set it equal to 2, comma, you can do basic arithmetic in arrays also. So that just made a 5 element array, and notice how the last element in it is 11 because it adds 7 and 4 together. So you can do math with arrays. And you'd also get the number of elements in an array. So you could do like, I guess, character alphabet is variable equals new character 26. So this creates a 26 character array, and that's how they all look when they're first initialized. And I'm going to do int alpha_len equals alphabet dot length. So it's just basically using dot length to get the length of the alphabet variable array. So press enter. So there are 26 elements in this array. So instead of the length before, which told me 8 characters with that like high there, or with the space, I just got 26 elements. So you could do lengths of arrays also. Now I'm going to show you how to copy an array to another array. So you could do string and tmp var equals new string so that creates a 6 because of the names before. We were working with names up here, names was equal to, it was 3. Like we had 3 elements in names. So it's just a new string, and it's 2 times 3, the length of names. Names was an array, it had 3 elements, so it's 2 times 3 is 6. So we just created a 6 element array. And then you could do system.array copy names, comma 0, comma tmp var. Yeah, so what this basically did is it created a new array twice the size of the first names string array, which had wall, walla, and null as the 3 elements, and it allocated and assigned to a temporary variable, tmp var, which was over here. So these were 6 null elements. And what it basically did is array copy over here, system.array copy. It copied names to the new array, and it also assigns the new array to names, so names equals tmp var. So it copies over to tmp var, and then it copies over to names. So go to, I guess, tmp var. So they both have the same values now. So basically, when you copy over, it extends 1, and it adds additional elements, so it matches the other array. So I mean, yeah, those are like the basic stuff in Java that I'm only like 33% into this book, and I don't know, like the author just at like page like 190 just starts going like off on like a tangent that's impossible to follow. So that's just all that I learned about Java so far. I think VBA is more useful so far.